And now we're going back to the Grove Hotel in Dunleer in County Louth, where we're talking to the fabulous Dee Reilly, who is playing along with Jason McGilligan and the Hot Country Band. Fabulous band, a fabulous lady of country. She's come all the way from the USA to sing here, a number of gigs all over Ireland, and there's huge crowds turning up to those. Pleasure to talk to Miss Dee Reilly, who is all the way here from the USA. Dee, welcome to the show.
Seamus, it's great to be back here with you. How are you doing?
I'm keeping very good. I'm keeping good. And I've no doubt you're looking fabulous, so you are.
Thank you very much. I do my best.
You come over to Ireland quite regularly now, so you do, all right?
I do, and you know something? I get asked this question a lot, actually, on radio. And since we're on the old video here and television, if you don't mind, I'm going to elaborate just a little bit, okay?
Be my guest.
There's a lot of people that had a hand in why I'm here in Ireland and doing music. Yes. And a lot of times I don't have time to do it all on radio. So if you give me a second, I'm going to try and get everybody in without offending anybody, all right? First of all, I got to comment and give credit to my mom and dad, because obviously my mom and dad. My mother is from County Cork. She's from Rathcormac. And my dad is from Belmullet in the county of Mayo. And I was born in Holyoke, Massachusetts, across the pond there. So the story is I was actually made in Ireland and born in the USA. Oh. Then I worked in the United States in the Irish scene over there for many, many years. I got my first band when I was 15. I couldn't wait to get a band. My mother was definitely doing a lot of laps of the rosary there for me. And anyway, I got a band at 15 and got to do some of the Irish clubs and for many, many years. I did 2 years of college, and I was supposed to go on to university and all this stuff. But instead I went to the University of Life, because Paddy Noonan found me, a guy from Cork, has Rego Records over there in the United States, or had it. And he spotted me singing in Queens, New York one night, and signed me up for a tour, and it was only going to be one tour. And then all of a sudden it turned into several tours, a record deal, and there you have it. Then I met Noel V. Ginnity, a fantastic comedian from Dublin. I'm sure your viewers are very familiar with him. He's a dear friend of mine. He was on tour with us over in the States with Paddy Noonan and Tony Kenny and Sonny Knowles and all kinds of great artists from Ireland. And I kind of grew up with these people, and they taught me the ropes about show business, believe it or not. Not intentionally, I just kind of got it. But anyway, Noel thought, and he's a big country music fan, okay? He thought that I would do well in a place called Clontarf Castle. They were doing a lot of cabaret shows there at the time, and people like Louise Morrissey, Red Hurley, Susan McCann, Johnny McAvoy. I mean, there was a whole summer series of people doing their shows there, and Noel introduced me to the manageress at the time, Ann Darcy. So Ann Darcy hired me to open up for all these people for a summer season. And that opened up so many doors for me in Ireland. And my parents were so proud that I was actually able to be performing here. Then, on that summer series, I met Susan McCann. She was one of the artists on there, and her husband, Dennis. And they were wonderful to me and decided to take me on and do a little bit of a booking for me back and forth from America. And that it worked out very well for quite a few years. Went back to the States, back to Nashville, writing, doing my thing, and then all of a sudden, a guy called Tony Lockman. You know Tony Lockman? I think a lot of your viewers will know Tony.
Yes, Tony,
a very,
man, yes.
Oh God, I'll tell you. Yes. Let me tell you something. What a man! What a man for an ear and an eye for show business. He saw me in Chicago and asked me to have a cup of coffee with him one day in the. I believe the hotel was the Holiday Inn right there beside the Chicago Festival for Gaelic Park. And he said, well, I watched your show. And he goes, I think you're really good. He said, would you like to come over and do a series of shows for cancer care in Ireland? And I said, I would love to. I'd heard so much about this man. I knew it had to be a good thing. So Tony brought me over to Ireland again, and we did a 6-week series for cancer care based out of Castleblaney, raised a lot of money for cancer care. And from that point, I met Patsy McEnany, who is my current manager, because he was playing in the band while we were doing all these things. Very nice. And, you know, somebody carried the torch for Tony, and I know that Tony had a lot of big plans for me, but thank God Patsy did pick up the torch. But I do owe an awful lot to Tony Lockman. And that is the story up to now. And I know it's a bit long, but I had to get it all in. All right. I think
Well,
I
no
kept
problem.
everybody happy
No,
there
no.
now. But that's the story. And I've made so many good friends here in Ireland and fans over the years that I love coming back over here to perform because you people love the real deal country music. Nashville's gone through so many changes. Been there for 24 years. They're into the pop country thing. I am into the traditional country thing. I write country style, meaning the traditional stuff. So I've got an audience here, hopefully, that likes what I do. And as long as they like me coming back, I'll keep coming back.
Absolutely fabulous. And that was a fantastic story. And for people out there...
Hope I didn't bore you.
No, because this is what this show is about. People love to hear a bit of history about the artist, who they are and where they came from. And you're certainly giving us all that. And we love all that.
Well, it's hard to do it on radio because, you know, there's times where people are under a time constraint. Yeah. And, you know, you were gracious enough to come down here to the Grove here in Dunleer to interview me. And I thought this was my best opportunity to give the whole story. So hopefully I did a pretty good job for you.
You mentioned the Grove. It's a beautiful hotel here.
Oh,
so
it's lovely. Fantastic.
Lovely. No doubt about that. And you have some CDs out, any DVDs at all?
No DVDs for sale as such. We're working on one at the moment. I've had a lot of stuff going on in the States, and we're working on that right now. Hopefully by the fall, early winter, I'll have a new DVD out here, and you'll be the first to get it. I did something for T.G. Caher.
Yes,
yep.
yes.
A couple of, 2 years ago now, but they have the rights to that, and that's their thing. And so I don't have anything to give you right now, but hopefully we'll be able to put a little bit of music there in the background and let the folks know what I'm about a little bit. I'll tell you one thing, I'm traveling with a great band, the Hot Country Band. Unbelievable.
Jason is fabulous.
Jason McGilligan. I know we've got Nathan Carter. He's doing the big stuff right now, but I think Jason McGilligan's got a big shot at this thing. He's dedicated, very talented, very eager, and what a nice guy, honest to God. And what a band he's got. And
yeah, we spoke to Jason earlier on, and he's a fabulous young guy, and lots of go and zest in him, and he loves working with top artists and people like yourself.
Oh, well, he's definitely... I love working with him as well. I mean, for everything from sound to material, and he's eager to hear about songs. I mean, this guy's got it going on, and I really hope he's given a shot. I think he's got it, and I think he deserves it.
And I've no doubt he will, because he's another one of the new and upcoming young stars on the scene anyway. And with people like you appearing, it'll certainly even increase his style of music as well, too.
Well, thank you very much, Seamus. You're
wonderful.
wonderful.
And we're delighted, and so delighted to have you here as well. And I know even the song now you sang with the 16th of May, fabulous song.
16th of May. Wow. I just had my anniversary there not too long ago. And you know something? I didn't realize how clever I was when I was writing that song. I really didn't. Yes. But I'm at least guaranteed one airplay somewhere around the world once a year.
Very good. It's certainly a very appropriate song. We'll not say any more on that.
Oh, I'll tell you. And you know an interesting thing that happened? My mom and my stepdad, Leo and Mary Doherty, they're based in Massachusetts. I told you my mom is from Cork. Leo is from Derry City. And they've been together for 30 years, and they work with CIE tours here in Ireland. And we just did a tour with Americans. They've been bringing them over for years and years and years, and they asked me to be their guest entertainer for the last 3 years. So we just did that from the 12th of May to the 20th of May, and we had 35 Americans, 3 Italians, 4 Germans, and 1 lady that came all the way from Florida by way of Lithuania. So we had a lot of mixture of different cultures on the trip. Well, anyway, we're going along the road, and we stop in for lunch one day in Derry. And we're all sitting around in a little cafe area, and they had a country music radio station playing. And I wish I knew the name of it because I was trying to listen, but we had to go. The next thing, it was the 16th of May, the date was, right. And the next thing, there it was. My song came on, and it was almost like I couldn't have planned it. No. Now I've got all these people from America that can hear me on the radio, which, believe it or not, unless you have a major record deal in the United States, it's very difficult to get airplay in the States, unless you're like on a local Irish, community radio or something like that, which I do get a lot of airplay on that. But it was really cool. It was fantastic, and everybody enjoyed it. And I'm going to find out what the name of that station was that played it, because I definitely need to send them a postcard, because thank you.
I no problem at all, because all the stations here in Ireland, like no matter what, when you listen, at some stage of one or another, we're listening to that song, and a lot of your other songs as well too.
Yeah, I wrote another song called Nothing's Right and Nothing's Left, and I wrote that here in Ireland. Right. The 16th of May is a very long story, and I've told you one already, so we won't go there. But anyway, Nothing's Right, Nothing's Left is nothing to do with me. It's about a couple of friends of mine that I introduced, which I don't recommend. They were doing great for about a year or two, and then all of a sudden they had some problems, and then I was getting the late night phone calls, and so you got to get the record, and when you hear it, it's like a Dallas series. Absolutely. Yeah, it's fantastic. But anyway, that's been good to me. That song's caught on here in Ireland. And, you know, like I said, as long as I've got an audience and a fan base and people here that want to see me coming back, I'll keep coming back. Of course, I've got family here, but I love the music. I love country music, and I'm glad that I've got a place to play real country music. And
you are getting that here in Ireland. And I know you do some concerts as well here in Ireland.
I do. I love doing the concerts. Now, being with Tony Kenny and Noel V. Ginnity and Paddy Noonan and all those guys, starting at 17 years old, and I'm 43 now.
I know.
And holding. I'm not going to tell you that again if you see me in 10 years. I'll just tell you I'm 43.
And I'd well believe you. You look it all and younger.
69. But anyway, make sure you have that on tape now.
Oh, we have it on tape, right?
But anyway, I do love the concerts because there's an intimacy and a bond you can build with the people that you can't really do in a dance hall. We do a dance hall thing in a different way. I learned that very quickly. When people are out dancing, they don't want gaps in the jives or the waltzes, or, you know, they want to keep it going, and they don't want to hear any kind of story or anything like that. They want to hear the music. So I've been able to balance the two pretty well, and I'm looking forward to a concert I'm doing in Mitchelstown in County Cork on June 1st, and that's not too far from my mom's hometown of Rathcormac. So we've got a great lineup going there. John Glenn, Gene Stewart, a great little singer from Newcastle. I'm not going to say little, she got a big voice. From Newcastle in County Down, her name is Caitlin. She's on the bill with us. Of course, Jason McGilligan, the Hot Country Band, yours truly. And if I'm leaving anybody out, I apologize, but it's going to be a full action-packed show from top to finish, and my family's going to be there. So I'm really looking forward to that one at the Fir Grove.
We do a gig guide, and so we'll be certainly plugging that all the way for you. No problem at all.
Thank you very, very much.
And when you do your DVD, you're more than welcome to come. You'll be in Ireland anyway, and come into our studio, and we can have a chat and talk about it, and even listen to a few of the songs from that.
Well, I would be delighted to do that, Seamus. And once again, thank you for taking the time out to bring your crew out here and talk to us.
And it's our pleasure having you here. Ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Dee Reilly.